You pull into a petrol pump in India, and you hand over around 100 rupees for a single liter of fuel. And as you watch the numbers spin, you probably think the man who owns this pump is quietly getting rich off you. He is not. Out of that 100 rupees, the pump owner keeps only about 4 rupees. So the real question, the one almost nobody asks, is simple. Where do the other 96 rupees actually go? Because once you follow that money, you discover something surprising. A petrol pump in India is not really the owner's business at all. It is one of the most powerful tax collection machines ever built, dressed up as a private shop, and the person running it is earning some of the thinnest margins in all of retail. This is the economics of owning a petrol pump in India. Let's start with the number that shocks people the most, the dealer's commission. When you buy petrol, the amount the pump owner actually earns is fixed, and it is tiny. Roughly 3 to 4 rupees per liter on petrol, and even less, around 2 to 3 rupees, on diesel. In Delhi, for example, the commission works out to about 4 rupees and 40 pies on a liter of petrol. And here's the crucial part. The dealer does not get to choose that number. It is set by the big oil companies. The pump owner cannot decide to charge you more because rent went up or charge you less to beat the pump down the road. The price is the price, handed down from above, and his cut of it is a sliver. On a 100 rupee liter, the owner's share is around 3 to 5%. That is it. Everything else belongs to someone else. So if the owner only keeps 4 rupees, who takes the lion's share? This is the second engine, and it is the real heart of the story, the government. Stack up what actually sits inside that 100 rupee liter. First, there is the base cost of the fuel itself. Then on top, the central government adds an excise duty, around 20 rupees on every liter of petrol. And then on top of that, your state government adds its own tax, called VAT, which varies wildly from state to state, often somewhere between 25 and 30+%. Add the central tax and the state tax together, and taxes alone can make up roughly half of what you pay at the pump. Read that again. When you spend 100 rupees on petrol, something close to 50 of those rupees is not fuel at all. It is tax. The government, central and state combined, earns more from your liter of petrol than anyone else in the entire chain, without owning a single pump, laying a single pipe, or employing a single attendant. Every petrol pump in the country is, in effect, a tiny tax office with a forecourt, and the dealer is the unpaid clerk collecting it for them. Let's actually split that 100 rupee liter open and lay the pieces on the table. Very roughly, somewhere around 35 to 40 rupees is the actual cost of the fuel, the stuff you are burning in your engine, including the oil company's own margin. Then the central government's excise duty adds close to 20 rupees. Then your state piles its VAT on top, which in many states is another 20 rupees or more. And the dealer, the man who bought the land, built the station, hired the staff, paid for the pumps, and is standing there in the sun serving you, keeps his 4. Base fuel, central tax, state tax, and then, right at the very bottom of the pile, the tiny sliver that actually belongs to the owner. When you see it stacked up like that, the whole illusion collapses. The pump owner is not the villain of the high fuel price. He is barely a footnote in it. Now the third engine, the one that explains why the dealer has so little power, the oil companies. In India, fuel retailing is dominated by a few giants, the big public oil marketing companies. And when you open a pump, you are not really starting an independent business. You are becoming their franchisee. They own the brand on the canopy. They set the price of the fuel every single morning. They decide who gets a dealership in the first place, often handing out new pumps through a selection or a draw. And crucially, you buy the fuel from them up front with your own money before you have sold a drop of it. So the dealer carries the cost, the working capital, and the risk, while the oil company sets the terms. You are running their shop on their fuel at their price for a commission they decide. So by now you might be wondering something reasonable. If the margin is 4 rupees, the taxes eat half, and the oil company controls everything, then how on earth does anyone make money owning a petrol pump? And this is the fourth engine, the part that separates the pumps that struggle from the ones that quietly do very well. The answer is volume, land, and everything that is not fuel. Start with volume. 4 rupees a liter sounds like nothing, but a busy pump on a highway or a city artery can sell tens of thousands of liters every single day. Imagine a station moving even 10,000 liters a day at 4 rupees each. That is 40,000 rupees a day, more than 1 crore a year from petrol commission alone before you add diesel and everything else. 4 rupees multiplied by a very large number becomes a real income. This is a business where you do not win on margin. You win on throughput. The whole game is location, location, and traffic. A sleepy pump on a quiet road can barely survive on the same 4 rupees that makes a highway pump wealthy. But before you get excited, understand what that volume costs you to carry. You pay the oil company for the fuel up front before a single customer arrives. So a high-volume pump ties up huge amounts of working capital just sitting in the tanks. Fuel physically evaporates in the heat, so a little of what you paid for literally vanishes into the air before it can be sold. And that shrinkage comes straight out of your thin margin. Add the salaries of the attendants, the electricity, the maintenance, the security, and the compliance, and those 4 rupees a liter get chipped away fast. It is why 2 pumps on the same road, selling at the exact same price, can have wildly different fortunes depending purely on how tightly they are run. Then there is everything around the fuel. The modern petrol pump increasingly makes its best money on the things that are not petrol at all. The convenience store, the air and nitrogen, the ATM on the corner, the giant advertising hoarding rented out above the forecourt, lubricants and car care, which carry far fatter margins than fuel ever will. And, looking ahead, the EV charging bays that will slowly take over the same high-traffic corners. The fuel gets people onto the property. The profit increasingly comes from what else you can sell them while they are there. And underneath all of it sits the quietest asset of all: the land. A petrol pump requires a large, well-placed plot on a busy road, exactly the kind of land that tends to rise in value for decades. Many a pump owner has made far more from the appreciation of the corner their pump sits on than from all the fuel they ever pumped across it. So let's step back and ask the question this channel always asks: who really profits from a petrol pump in India? Overwhelmingly, and by a huge margin, the government. Central excise plus state V8 means the taxman quietly takes close to half of every rupee you spend, earning more from the pump than the person who built it, staffed it, and runs it. Next comes the oil company, which controls the brand, the price, and the supply, and takes its margin off the top of every liter nationwide. And only then, a distant third, comes the dealer, the person everyone assumes is getting rich, scraping a few rupees a liter and truly winning only through massive volume, side businesses, and the land beneath his feet. And the customer? The customer pays a price that is, to an astonishing degree, simply tax. So should you want to own a petrol pump in India? Go in with your eyes open. This is a capital-heavy business. Setting one up can run well over 2 crore rupees once you include the land, and even the lighter arrangements need 30 to 70 lakh in deposit and working capital. The margins are thin and fixed, the oil company holds most of the control, and your profit is at the mercy of your location and your daily volume. This is not a quick flip or a passion project. It is a slow, steady, respectable business for someone with deep pockets and a great corner. Worth owning? As a get-rich-quick fuel margin, a poor 3 out of 10. But as a high-volume, cash-generating anchor on a valuable piece of land, with a convenience store, advertising, and an EV future stacked on top, a solid 7. The trick, as always, is to understand that you are not really in the fuel business. You are in the traffic business and the land business, quietly collecting tax for the government while you wait for the corner to appreciate. And that is the real lesson hiding behind the pump. The next time you groan at the price of a full tank, remember that the owner watching those numbers spin is keeping almost none of it. You are not really paying him. You are paying the government, and he is just the one holding the nozzle. I'm Mogul Math. Pick a business. We'll do the math.